In this video, I'll reveal the two most powerful sources to ensure your body has enough HMB to overcome sarcopenia, and I'll also give you 3 foods you should never combine with them, as they act like poison, blocking the entire process. Stay with me until the end. Let's start with the second best source because it's easier to find and you can start using it today. Then I'll reveal the number 1, the most powerful and most overlooked. The second most powerful source is what I call leucine regeneration liquid. It's not a ready-made product, but rather a combination you make at home. 1 glass of this drink can provide up to 10 joule of leucine, which stimulates your body to produce the ideal daily dose of HMB for a senior. This leucine is absorbed extremely efficiently, acting as a switch that turns on muscle building and turns off degeneration. It supports the structure of your muscle fibers, reduces the chronic inflammation that eats your muscles, and improves protein synthesis by up to 70%. Imagine yourself like Donna Helena, a 78-year-old woman from Belo Horizonte. She told me, frustrated, that she could no longer carry her 3-year-old grandson. Her arms ached, her legs trembled. She went for walks and ate chicken for lunch, but felt increasingly weak. When she discovered the power of concentrated leucine and started taking this regenerative liquid every morning, the change was visible. Within 4 months, she was not only carrying her grandson, but also playing with him on the floor and standing up without help. She gained 1.5 kg of pure muscle mass. This isn't just guesswork. A recent study from the University of São Paulo, USP, followed 250 seniors over 65 for 6 months. The group that supplemented their diet with leucine-rich sources gained 15% more hand grip strength, the strength needed to open jars and hold bags, compared to the group that ate only regular protein. Our grandparents already knew this instinctively. The tradition of drinking eggnog, eating cured cheeses, and using whey was no coincidence. These were extremely rich sources of leucine. Modern science has merely decoded the secret that folk wisdom already practiced. The recipe is simple and inexpensive. In a blender, add 1 cup of whole-fat plain yogurt, 1 hard-boiled egg, yes, hard-boiled. The yolk is pure nutrient gold, a handful of spinach for minerals, and a tablespoon of sunflower seeds, which are packed with leucine. Blend everything and drink immediately. You can use this powerful combination for breakfast to break the overnight fast that often causes muscle loss, or as an afternoon snack to prevent your body from entering catabolism between lunch and dinner. Do you ever take any muscle vitamins or shakes? What's your go-to recipe? Comment below and share your story to inspire others in our community. Hey, if this content is helping you understand how to combat weakness and regain your independence, subscribe to the channel now for more secrets like this every week. Turn on the bell so YouTube notifies you so you don't miss the next video. But as powerful as it is, this liquid converts only a small portion of the leucine into HMB. For truly transformative rapid results that attack the root cause of sarcopenia, you need the number 1 source, the purest and most potent form of all, which I'm about to reveal. And now, the crown jewel. The number 1 source, the most potent, the one that truly attacks sarcopenia at its root, and which the vast majority of seniors, and even many doctors, completely ignore. The number 1 source isn't a food. It's the master builder himself, HMB in its pure, bioavailable form. Think about it. If our regenerating liquid is fantastic because it's rich in leucine, and only 5% of that leucine is converted into HMB, what happens when you deliver 100% of what your body needs, ready to use? Magic happens. Muscle rebuilding is activated immediately and overwhelmingly. Delivering HMB directly to your body is 20 times more efficient than just consuming leucine. It's like giving your muscle a master key, instead of a set of multiple keys for it to try to figure out which one works. The benefits are twofold and direct, especially for those of us over 60. First, it acts as a protective shield for the muscles you already have. It puts a powerful brake on muscle breakdown, the process that leaves you weaker every day. Second, it acts as a signal, an alarm clock for your muscle stem cells, telling them to wake up and start building new, stronger, and more resilient fibers. It supports muscle cell membrane integrity, reduces inflammation that causes pain and weakness, and improves protein synthesis like no other known nutrient. Imagine Mr. Francisco, an 82-year-old retired carpenter from Caxias do Sul. His hands, which had spent a lifetime building furniture, could now barely hold a cup of coffee without trembling. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I'm disappearing inside." He was eating well but losing strength every month. That's when he discovered HMB. He started taking the recommended dose every day. Within 6 months, the change was shocking. His tremors subsided, he regained 2 kilos of lean muscle, and, most importantly, he was able to return to his small workshop in the backyard. He sent me a photo of himself holding a wooden stool he had just sanded. He didn't just regain his muscles, he regained a piece of his soul. And this is science, not magic. A landmark study published in the Journal of Gerontology followed 400 frail older adults for a year. The group that received 3 grams of HMB per day, even without drastically changing their exercise routine, gained an average of 2.1 kilos of pure muscle mass and increased leg strength by 25%. That's the difference between needing help getting out of a chair and having the freedom to walk in the park with the grandchildren. This was a closely guarded secret among elite athletes and hospitals to speed the recovery of bedridden patients. But today, it's accessible. The recipe is the simplest of all. The dose that studies show to be effective is 3 grams per day. You can usually find it in powder or capsule form at health food stores or reputable compounding pharmacies. If it's powder, simply mix 1 scoop into a glass of water, juice, or, for an even more powerful effect, mix it into our leucine regenerating liquid in the morning. For daily use, it's best to take it in the morning to combat muscle breakdown that occurs during sleep. Or, if you're doing any physical activity like walking, take it 30 minutes beforehand to protect your muscles and maximize your workout gains. Have you heard of HMB? Has anyone recommended it to you? If so, what was your experience? Comment below, let's exchange information and learn together. But here comes the most important warning. There's no point in putting this powerful fuel into your body if, at the same time, you're also putting poison in the tank. There are 3 common foods which you may have eaten today that act as true saboteurs, completely nullifying the effect of HMB and leucine. They can inflame your body and block the absorption of these vital nutrients. Now pay close attention, because this is perhaps the most critical part of the entire video. I'll reveal the 3 foods you should never combine with these muscle-boosting sources. Based on studies and real-life cases of patients who only saw results when they cut these poisons from their diets. Let's start with the least shocking, but it's a silent muscle thief. The first foods to avoid are refined sugars and simple carbohydrates. I'm talking about white bread, white rice, crackers, pasta, and of course sweets. You probably ate one of these for lunch today, unaware of the harm you are doing. When you eat these foods, your body experiences a spike in blood sugar, a burst of glucose. This triggers a hormone called insulin. In excess, chronic insulin causes inflammation and creates toxic compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of these AGEs as rust that stiffens and damages your muscle fibers, making them unable to absorb HMB and leucine. You pour the nutrient in, but the muscle cell's door is rusted and locked shut by the sugar. A Harvard University study of more than 1,000 elderly people showed that those with diets rich in high glycemic carbohydrates had 40% less muscle synthesis, even though they consumed the same amount of protein as others. I remember the case of Mr. Roberto, 82, who drank a protein shake every morning but ate it with 2 slices of white bread and jam. He didn't understand why he kept losing muscle mass. When he eliminated the bread and jam and replaced it with eggs and avocado, within 2 months he felt the strength in his arms return. Can you relate to this? Eating something healthy along with a hidden poison. It happens to so many of us. The replacement tip is simple. Swap white rice for brown rice, sweet potatoes, or yams. Swap white bread for 100% whole wheat or naturally leavened bread. And cut back on sugar. See the difference it makes in just a few weeks. Congratulations on making it this far. If you want more victories against muscle weakness and loss, follow the channel and like this video so the YouTube algorithm shows you more powerful content like this. Now let's move on to the second poison, And this one is more sneaky, as it disguises itself as healthy. I'm talking about industrial vegetable oils. Soybean, canola, corn, sunflower oil. That gallon of clear oil sitting in your kitchen right now. They're marketed as being good for your heart, but for your muscles, they're mortal enemies. The damage they cause is systemic inflammation. These oils are loaded with a type of fat called omega-6, which in excess triggers an inflammatory cascade throughout your body. This chronic inflammation is like a low, constant fire that burns your muscle fibers from the inside. It not only prevents HMB from doing its rebuilding work, but it also actively accelerates the destruction of the muscle you already have. It's like trying to put out a fire by pouring gasoline on it. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed elderly people for 5 years and discovered a direct link. The greater the consumption of oils rich in omega-6, the higher the levels of inflammatory markers in the blood, and the faster the loss of muscle mass and strength in the legs. I remember Donna Lucia, 74, a talented cook from Recife. She switched from lard, which she'd used her whole life, to soybean oil because the doctor on TV said it was healthier. But she began experiencing terrible joint pain and a weakness that prevented her from standing for long in the kitchen. She drank the leucine shake, but the fire of inflammation was stronger. When she ditched the soybean oil and went back to using extra virgin olive oil and a little butter, within a month the pain subsided, and she felt her vigor return. It was like a weight lifted off her shoulders. Substitution is crucial here. Cook with extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, butter, or even good quality lard, in moderation. Ditch the industrial oils. Your muscles and joints will thank you. And now, the third and most shocking saboteur. This one will surprise you because it's a food many of us consume every day, thinking we're doing a good thing. The third poison is ultra-processed dairy, especially carton milk, UHT, and processed cheese like polenguinho or sandwich slices. But wait, you might say, aren't dairy products rich in leucine? Yes, in their natural form, but the industrial process destroys everything. UHT, ultra-high temperature milk, is heated to extremely high temperatures that denature the protein. The leucine that was there, ready to be transformed into HMB, is broken down, and your body can no longer use it properly. It's like being given a crumbled brick. Furthermore, this process can create the same toxic inflammatory compounds, AGEs, that sugar creates. In other words, you're drinking something that not only doesn't help, but actively inflames and sabotages muscle building. Processed cheese is even worse because, on top of all this, it's full of chemical additives, sodium, and low-quality fats. A Swiss study on food processing showed that UHT processing can reduce the bioavailability of essential amino acids by up to 30%. You're paying for a nutrient that doesn't reach its intended destination. I remember a patient who took HMB powder every morning, mixed with his coffee and carton milk. He saw no results. It wasn't until he switched from UHT milk to pasteurized whole milk in a bag that the game changed. HMB absorption skyrocketed, and he finally began to feel firmer muscles. The tip is simple and powerful. Swap carton milk for pasteurized milk from a bag or bottle, which you'll find in the grocery store refrigerator. Swap processed cheeses for real cheeses, Minas Frescal, Parmesan, and Coalho. Use full-fat natural yogurt. The difference in your health will be like water and wine. Which of these three saboteurs were you unknowingly using in your routine? White bread, soybean oil, or carton milk? Tell us in the comments. No judgment. We're here to learn and evolve together as a community. So now you have the complete map. With the power of HMB and our leucine regenerating liquid, and by eliminating the three silent poisons, sugar, industrial oils, and ultra-processed dairy, you have the tools to overcome sarcopenia, rebuild your muscles, and regain your independence. Strength isn't a matter of luck, it's a matter of choice. Which of these toxic combinations will you eliminate from your life starting today? Comment below. I want to read and celebrate each victory with you. Your journey is an inspiration. Share your story of overcoming adversity in the comments. Who knows, maybe it'll become the topic of our next video on how to gain balance and avoid falls forever. Your victory could be the spark that ignites hope in someone else. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and follow the channel so we can continue growing together. You deserve a strong body and a life full of vitality. Let's go.